All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back for another week of Just a Fan Podcast. All right, so it is officially April, and that means we are getting down to the last bit of draft information before the draft begins. We are now, well, today's over, so we're about 16 days away from the NFL draft. Live Thursday night, 8 o'clock, round one.
Just to let you know, for those of us who are new subscribers to Just a Fan Podcast, this year will also be our second year um, in a row where we will do a live draft watch party. Um, we do a live draft watch party here on our channel. And basically, of course, we can't broadcast the draft in actuality, but what we'll be able to do is we'll be giving you live analysis and reactions to each team's movement in the first round of the draft that night. So, just to let you know, be prepared for there to be a Thursday show, and it'll be live. It'll be a little bit longer than our regular shows because we're gonna take it from pick 1 to 32
There you go.
that night, and we're gonna analyze each move that's being made by each team in that first round on day one, and then we'll come back around on our Monday show again to follow up on some of the things that were done day two and day three of the draft. So make
Also,
sure you be looking out for that.
also the Monday before the draft, we will have our mock draft 1 point only. I think this is the second or third year in a row that we are doing this. So be on the lookout. So on the today's oh, you know I didn't flip my calendar. Anyway, today's the 7th. Don't ask me why I didn't flip my calendar. I know today's the 7th. So on the 21st, mock draft 1 point only. We will do a draft simulator, and we will pick players for all 32 for all 32 teams.
All 32 picks, yeah. Well, it's
Well,
32 teams this year because everybody's picking in the first round this year.
yeah, everybody's picking the first round,
Yeah.
and for the first, just like the second time in modern day history, I think. But anyway, um, so yeah, be on the lookout for a lot of stuff. All right, so we got a lot to go over, but first, let's introduce everybody. Me, Coach Williams, the NFL Encyclopedia. I'm hey, look, this is gonna be a whole off season thing until the regular season start. Build a game in the trenches. Okay. I ain't got nothing else more to say about that. Next door to me, well not really, but you give my son you give
Yeah, across the country. I
well
was closer to you this weekend than I was than I am
yeah, I
now.
know, right? Yeah, you
I was in
yeah, man.
Atlanta this past weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. You throwing an A-town stomp and everything, man.
nah, not really. I was just trying to get some sleep. But go
I know,
ahead.
I know, but when I say next door to me, I'm talking about on the screen. So don't think Eric lives next door to me. He doesn't. Anyway, he's in a different time zone. Anyway, panel 316, the good guy with the black hat. What's up, man?
Hey man, I can't call it, man. It's draft season. I just came off a 17-hour road trip this
Mm.
morning, and
Hey,
but I'm here.
That's right. He's
And
here.
it's draft time. You know, we don't take the off season off on Just a Fan Podcast. So we rolling regardless of what's going on. So we finna get after it. A couple of transactions we had this week.
Hold on, wait, man. We got one person.
Oh, I'm ready to get to it. I'm sorry, Steve. Go ahead and introduce
God,
Space Age Pimping. I'm sorry.
hey, man.
the
What's
space
up?
age, the space age, man.
What's
You
up, man?
know.
What's
Hey
up?
man, been busy, man, but I'm back with my guys, man. I'm
I
here.
see you,
I'm
man.
here. I'm here, man.
I see you. I gotta talk to you, man. We gotta talk. We gotta
Yeah.
talk, man. All right. Well, how you doing, Space Age?
Good, man. Can't complain. Blessed, man.
All right. So listen, like Eric was getting ready to say, we got some stuff to talk about, man, because we got a couple moves that were made. Well, a contract extension and a move that was made, both dealing with quarterbacks. Let's deal with to start with Geno Smith's contract extension. And they have given this man more money.
Mm.
They have given him more years. and I think he's at what $43 million a year or something like that. I forgot what it was exactly.
It's
But
43 APY.
yeah, 43 APY. So
Ooh.
that
Uh-huh.
tells me that this man
Ooh.
is not
Uh-huh.
only the
I
quarterback.
missed that one. Let me put this on for a second.
Uh-huh.
Not only is he the quarterback for now, but he's the quarterback for the immediate future for the Las Vegas Raiders. Raider Nation, how y'all feeling about this? But I wish we had some Raiders fans on here. But anyway,
That changes the market, man. I
it
mean,
really does. It's almost like Christian Kirk at when he got his money in
Uh-huh.
Jacksonville, Trent Baalke. It's
well,
Trent
I still
Baalke.
think Kirk. I think Kirk was still way worse than this. The QB market has been reset a few times, but this one, I know we'll get to it. E. There's another quarterback in that division that you're fond of that's going to get. If Geno got that,
It just raised his floor.
there's a guy that's going to get.
It just
He's
raised his
really
floor
happy
for his
come
contract. Yeah.
contract signing time.
It raised the floor. And we
Yes.
go ahead and say his name. He ain't Beetlejuice. Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's agent looked at that Geno Smith deal and was like, really? Bet.
I mean, he had to. He had to say bet because you have to say, okay, Brock has been to 2 NFC Championship games, 1 Super Bowl. You would have gone to the 2nd Super Bowl if you had not gotten injured. We keep repeating ourselves on this over and over and over again.
And an actual league MVP finalist.
Yes. So if Geno Smith is $43 million a year, the basement, not the floor, the basement has to be $50 million. That's the basement.
Yeah,
53.
it's starting at 50.
They got
But-
53.
But
Nah,
no,
it'll
I said
be
the
50.
basement, not the floor. The floor is above the basement. The first floor is above the basement. We all know that. Okay. If you have a house with a basement, you know the basement, you got the first floor, you got the second floor. The first floor is probably $55 million.
And you heard it here first. Brock Purdy will not get less than $50 million on this deal.
Oh,
and
we know
they're in the
that.
process of working that deal out right now. He will not get less than $50 million. So all you clowns, go ahead and put on your big red nose and your white makeup and your little smiley face and get in your little clown card. And all you people that's talking about he need 47.
And go
He
hang
need-
out
he-
with Doink, Dink, Wink, and Pink.
Yeah, and Bozo and all of them. You're a clown. If you think
Because homie
for
don't
a
play that.
minute that Brock Purdy, I heard one clown. I mean, he had the multicolored hair. I heard one clown say he don't deserve no more than 35 million. It's like, tell me you don't understand how NFL contracts work within the market without telling me that you don't understand how NFL contracts work within the market. Like that, you a clown if you say something like that. So just go ahead and get ready and plug your microwave up and go ahead and get that crow pot pie ready. Because you finna be eating it. Because I'm telling you right now, the basement, like Brandon said, the basement for Brock Purdy, because of this Geno Smith deal, that all but solidified the basement being $50 million.
You know what? I don't see him coming out less than 57 million, to be honest with you.
I think the ceiling is the only thing that's debatable. It could be anywhere between 55 and 57. I still think they're gonna try to keep it respectable so they can still maintain some talent
Yeah,
on the
true.
team.
That's
But
true.
because people be like, well, and I heard some people say, well, he deserves to get paid more than Dak Prescott because he's done more than Dak Prescott. That's true. But the thing is that, and I think y'all agree with me being Dallas fans, Dallas screwed up when they gave him that Dak that deal. That $60 million.
You know
deal.
what? I'm gonna
They
say
shouldn't
this.
have paid him that.
I'm gonna say this. They screwed up too many times handling Dak Prescott's contract. I'm not gonna get into that because that's a completely different topic. But they did screw up dealing with his contract more times than not.
Yeah,
so,
Absolutely.
anyway.
That's why some people like he should be north of 60, and I'm like, I understand the market. It should be in that range, but not. It shouldn't be north of 60. To be a responsible contract, should not be north of 60.
He should get paid way more than Dak. And people say, playing Dallas, we're not gonna win. Players, they know they'll get paid well and taken care of in Dallas. Like, like people gonna get paid down there. But Brock, he's gonna get paid, man, and he deserves it. I mean, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Top 10 in my opinion. He should get top 10 money.
But going back to the Geno thing.
Going back to Geno Smith, just real quick, man. Like, he's not even the best quarterback. He's the worst quarterback in that division. Okay, we know Mahomes is one.
I don't think he's the third best quarterback in that division.
I said he's the worst.
Yeah. Like I think. Are you taller than a fifth grader? Is better.
You're right.
No, but Kyler Murray's NFC West. I'm talking about AFC West.
Yeah, you're right.
Because it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Bo Nix, and it's Justin Herbert.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking about the division he left. You talking about?
I was too for a second. Yeah. I was too for a second.
Okay,
I agree, Brandon. He is. I agree, Brandon. Yeah.
AFC West. He's the worst quarterback in that division. You paying him $43 million. He's not going to be good enough to elevate you above the Chargers or the Broncos and to compete with the Chiefs for that division title. I'm sorry. What do you?
I got a question. How many playoff games has Geno Smith won in his career?
0, 1, 0. I knew it was somewhere in that range.
Yeah, $43 million a year for that. The Raiders gonna Raider. It's like Al Davis got up from the grave and was like, "Yeah, that's it right there.
Keenan,
that's the move right there."
Keenan, I hear you when you say durability and consistency, but to be honest,
consistently mediocre.
Yeah, I think
his numbers mean exactly nothing if you can't make it work in the playoffs, just like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, durability means
for him it means nothing.
Enough to sit on the
it means nothing.
In the just because you're healthy doesn't mean that you play well.
Right.
He's healthy enough to pop some popcorn and walk from the microwave to the couch when it's playoff time.
Yeah,
that's what
durability matters.
Durability matters, especially if you are a key cog on the team. Okay, if you Fred Warner and you say, okay, well, Fred Warner's durable, okay, fantastic. But if you say some little special team guy's been durable and he ain't doing much except for averaging 2 special team tackles a season, don't give me that nonsense.
Right. And Geno, he's carved out career more than what we thought. I mean, I'm surprised he's still in the league, to be completely honest.
I'm surprised he's still a starter.
Exactly. So I know he's elated to just be on a roster, let alone get that contract. But
yeah.
$43
million, man. Shoot, his little cousin that looked up to him that's at Ohio State right now, when he goes pro, is gonna be so much better than what he is.
And that's okay.
I know, but I'm just saying his little cousin that plays wide receiver at Ohio State is gonna be way better than what he is as a quarterback.
Yeah.
So anyway, speaking of quarterbacks, man, I heard it could happen, but I wasn't like, oh, I'm expecting it to happen. Okay. The Cowboys traded their 5th round pick to New England for quarterback Joe Milton and a 7th round pick. Now, the picks, it swaps about 40-something spots in the draft. And so for the Cowboys to make this kind of a trade, to me, tells me that, well, one, they want to make sure they have a quarterback ready to replace Dak Prescott in the future. But 2, they must see a lot of upside in Joe Milton. And as I've heard different people talk and stuff, Joe Milton's ceiling is way higher than I think. Okay,
he's just raw. He just raw. That's it.
When he was at Michigan, and I heard this today from Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter said he visited Michigan when Joe Milton was there, and they said he has the potential to be pick number 1 overall. Now, of course, it never happened because, like Eric said, he's raw. Okay, and some people were wondering if he would have stayed in New England, had Drake May would have been looking over his shoulder eventually. Okay. And when Eric said that Dak has 2 years to stomp his feet and light a match or whatever that was,
you better stomp your foot and light a match.
I'm starting to really think that is true. If Dallas has an opportunity in front of them to develop this young man correctly And if they do so, they are going to be a dangerous team. They need to make sure they have players around him. They need to make sure they have a hell of a play caller for him. But they got to develop him. They got to develop him correctly.
Let me say this, if I can.
Go ahead.
This reminds me of a Trey Lance situation. I need us to make a decision on.
I'm glad you brought that up.
For Dak Prescott, make a decision, because I feel like we ruined Trey Lance's development in his career. I feel like we need to know with Dak what we want to do, if he's going to be here or not. You hear the trade rumors. He got hurt last season. I get it. He needs to win, or we need to move on from him. And if we're going to, it needs to be, I think, a little more clear, because this mixing, I don't want to screw him over either. And we give a draft picks as well. More draft picks. And we draft well. So to me, I'm like, we're giving some stuff away, man. I need us to make a decision as far as what we're going to do at quarterback.
Well, that's why.
Even just depth chart wise.
Well, I think right now, just because he's still raw and he's not ready, I think he competes for number 2 spot with Will Greer, and I think he beats out Will Greer with no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with Eric as far as and like it's, but I agree with you, and so I'm gonna combine the two.
Mm-hmm.
You need to establish when you're ready to move forward with Joe Milton, and that means, Dak, you have 2 years to stomp your feet and light a match. If you don't in 2 years, thank you for your services. We appreciate you. No hard feelings. Let's move on and let's move forward with Joe Milton. I honestly think that's what the plan needs to be.
And honestly, and the cap situation, they cap stuff more than I do. But I'm like, man, like we different, probably different show. But we could probably save in the long term by moving on. I know there are a lot of teams that would love Dak Prescott. I'm not saying we should trade him, but I'm saying if we want to move on, there are teams that will love to have him, because he's better than most quarterbacks in the league.
Oh, of course he is. Of course he is. But
he's top 15 in my opinion.
That's why I said by off season 2027, because it's 2025 now. That's 1. 2026 is 2. By off season 2027, we need to be trading this guy, and that's fine with me.
Yeah.
And I know cap hit, whatever. But take the cap hit, trade him, get whatever you can for him, and let's move forward. And let's build around Joe Milton with Joe Milton in mind, because it's going to be about him. And we need to slowly start shifting that way, slowly. But we need to continue to make progress.
Yeah.
We cannot be half-stepping.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
I agree.
Well, there's a lot of different ways you could go with this. And by the way, if you have an opinion about this quarterback situation, whether it's the Geno Smith contract, the Joe Milton trade, or what I'm about to go into in a few minutes, make sure you go on the inbox and on YouTube, and you give your comments. Tell us what you think. And if you're asking good questions and making good statements, we're gonna put it up on the screen. But another quarterback who looked like their career was about to be over has just got a new contract, gentlemen. Mr. Trey Lance is in LA with the Chargers under Jim Harbaugh.
Yes, and that is true. I think this is it for Trey Lance.
If Jim can't do nothing with you, I don't know what.
That's the way I looked at it. I said,
it's good for him.
Huh?
Good for him.
No, of course it's good for him. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. But I'm saying this is it for him, because, like Eric just said, if Jim can't do nothing with you,
last stop. You're saying,
yeah, this is your last stop, dude. And guess who already came calling? Canada.
Mm-hmm.
The Canadian Football League already came calling and said, "Look,
affirmative." Yeah,
they already came calling and said, "Look, if you don't get a contract extension, we're ready for you up here."
You can come on, yeah. And the thing is Trey Lance is one of the, just like he's second Joe Milton. Joe Milton's situation is kind of getting handled a lot better. Joe Milton came into the league as a backup. People recognize his raw ability, and they're going to try to cultivate that some kind of way and make something out of him. Trey Lance's entry into the league was less than ideal because he was expected to be the savior. He was expected to come in and just boom, hit the ground running, which he only played I believe 19 games in college.
Yes.
So does he have arm strength? Yes. Does he have athletic ability? Yes. But the processing is not there because he just doesn't have the reps. Now, if he gets some significant reps in I was about to say San Diego, in LA, he could be something. Or even if he doesn't, just being under the tutelage of Jim Harbaugh.
With Justin Herbert at quarterback, because he can learn a lot from Herbert in that quarterback room.
Absolutely.
He can learn a lot. And also, you said 19 games in college. He played at Steve's favorite offense in high school, the wing T offense.
Listen, guys, Herbert, he ain't that special, man. He has Harbaugh coaching him, but it ain't like Herbert is that dude like in the league. He's good, but if there's space for development from Trey Lance, there's possibility. It's not like he's having a situation where he has Aaron Rodgers, or I'm thinking back Tom Brady, a great quarterback that's number one. Herbert's not great. He's not great.
So what you're saying is that you're saying there's a potential quarterback controversy in LA?
It could be. Herbert isn't that dude.
I can't go.
Okay.
I can't go with your no.
Hold on. Wait. I'm about to settle this. If Justin Herbert does not progress the way he needs to progress, then maybe in a year or two, if Trey Lance progressed, then I can see that. Here's my wait. Let me finish. Here's my thing. Herbert is not where he needs to be because he fell behind because Brandon Staley was the head coach. If they had kept Anthony Lynn as the head coach with Pep Hamilton as his quarterback coach, because yes. Did you see what Pep Hamilton?
I'm agreeing.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Two things can be true, but Herbert, he's not.
Herbert fell behind because of who?
But it still happened. I understand why.
I get it. So Jim Harbaugh. So now he has the opportunity to make up some of that. Now, like I said, if he doesn't make up some of that under Jim Harbaugh, and Trey Lance catches up for some reason,
he does.
Fine, I will give it to you. And now, but the quarterback competition will not be this year, though.
Right now, this year, his first year with Harbaugh last season. This year, okay, 2 seasons under. I wish Tristan was on this episode because we know his opinion.
I know, man.
But this will say a lot because, I'm not trying to talk bad about Herbert at all. But what I'm saying is, bottom line, there's space for Trey Lance to get an opportunity because we know his previous coaches as far as Herbert and where he is now. But you're not. He hasn't shown to be now. I know the reasons. He hasn't shown to be that special guy. He's not a young Tom Brady. He's not a young Peyton Manning.
I agree with you.
Not a young Drew Brees.
I agree with you.
He's been a good quarterback.
I'll give you that.
So we'll see. We'll see. But he has to show this year, or there will be discussions. There will be.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah, I agree. I'll give you that.
Given how Trey Lance has looked in his NFL career. As of right now, I just don't see that. I don't see there being hey Justin Herbert, you go on a short lease because we got Trey Lance. I don't see that at all.
But he's under Harbaugh now.
Yeah, I understand.
Now he's another quarterback since John Kennedy left as a QB coach.
I understand that, but he's under Jim Harbaugh. But I seriously doubt that Harbaugh is gonna have Herbert on a short lease just because Trey Lance is there. Like that's hey man, my air conditioning is not blowing really cold in my car, but hey, I got this Yugo right here in the driveway. I'm gonna
He's
start
a
driving
Yugo?
it.
Oh man.
As of right now, Trey Lance is a damn Yugo. Okay, now could we fix it up? Yeah. Could he turn into a transformer or
He's
something
not
like that?
Yugo,
Yeah.
man.
His play is Yugo-ish.
He's a nice
Okay.
guy that sat at a bad shop in Dallas, and we don't know what it is yet.
He's had 2 bad stops. That's what you understand. Is he's had a bad stop. He was the starter in San Francisco, and then he went to Dallas, and Dallas got fleeced by San Francisco and gave up a 4th rounder for him
in the junkyard.
Yeah. So yeah, man. No, it's like we talking about somebody who had San Diego. I keep saying San Diego. Had the Chargers not given this man a contract, was not going to be in the league. This is not somebody who was being shopped around or something like that, or had multiple suitors or something like that. This is a guy who, how about like, you know what? I like reclamation projects. Let me go ahead and get him. That's what that was. He was exhibit, and this is Pimp My Ride. That's what it is.
No.
This is not, oh, let me go to this car dealership. No, this thing got the gas coming out the radio, and you know what I'm saying? And the doggone upholstery is ripping and everything else like that. You can look down through the floorboard of the passenger side and you can see the street. That's what Trey Lance is at this point.
Eric. Was it so bad that you had to drive the car using your Fred Flintstone feet?
Yes, you had to break using your feet through the floorboard. That's what he is right now in his career. This is a man who did not have anywhere to, like Brandon just said.
No, we don't know
Brandon
that.
just said he was on his way to Canada.
He was on his way to Canada. That's the thing.
So
like Eric said, he didn't have multiple suitors.
That it's a quarterback controversy
surprised the Chargers
between
even picked
Justin
him up.
Herbert and somebody who wasn't even going to be in the damn league this year.
I'm
surprised. Hold on. I'm surprised Harbaugh even picked him up because no one said anything about Trey Lance. That was a last-second thing.
No, as far as we know, y'all telling me Harbaugh was the only team in the NFL that had any interest in Trey Lance as a quarterback.
Yes. He was on his way to Canada.
Yes.
Y'all know every front office?
What we're saying is if there was a demand for Trey Lance, he'd win a lot earlier. Put it like that.
It's not a demand.
He got to deal. This
Okay,
was
exactly. That's the thing. It's not a demand. You just said it. It wasn't a demand.
There was no demand.
So no one asked about it but Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh was
amazing.
Hey, let me see what I got.
No,
that's all that was.
Like, nah, we're not interested. Everyone.
I got a buddy of mine that like to fix old horns. Okay, that's what he like to do. When he gets some spare time, he fix old horns because he know how to repair horns, brass instruments. Shout out Xavier Williams. But yeah, I mean that's what he do. Now, do he need to do horn? No, he got his own horns. They're working. They work just fine. You know, but he's like, you know what? I got some time. Let me go over here and grab this because I think I can make something out of it. I might fix it up and sell it. I'm gonna make it more valuable and I'm gonna sell it. But in no time is he going, let me replace the horn that I just bought. It was slightly used, but still plays well for something that somebody's about to throw in a dumpster. So you're not going to convince me that there's going to be some kind of damn quarterback controversy with the LA Chargers if Justin Herbert don't play well.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. I thought Trey Lance was going to be on his way to the UFL next year.
He was on his way to the damn UFL. Nobody wanted Trey Lance.
All I'm saying is we know Jim Harbaugh is a good coach and he's smart.
Absolutely.
There are a lot worse quarterbacks than Trey Lance.
Yeah.
30 teams, nobody was interested at all in having him being a backup quarterback, 2 or 3. You can't. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. But okay.
Like I said, Canada had him on speed dial.
They
look at the quarterback market this season.
Canada don't have everybody. They don't have Patrick Mahomes on speed dial.
They have everyone they can from the NFL.
They don't have Patrick Mahomes on speed dial.
Lamar Jackson,
Josh Allen,
hell, Brock Purdy,
Justin Jefferson.
So NFL,
Wait, you went to receive.
NFL agents, they're usually CFL certified as well. I don't know if y'all knew that.
I understand that, Steve.
So they have contact to their agent.
Okay, Steve.
But
all right.
Listen, man.
Go ahead.
I'm sure people asked about Trey Lance.
Asking about and offering a contract are two different things.
No, you said no suitors. Suitors is asking. Now, Harbaugh, if he's the only one, why did he ask about him then? If Trey Lance is so bad and no one wants him, why would he want him?
Because again, going back to my analogy about my boy that fixes horns.
Oh my goodness.
It's the same thing. Jim Harbaugh is a quarterback reclamation project manager. That's what he does.
Right.
Okay. So he's like, I'm gonna make something out of him, give him some value.
Not to mention,
and maybe I can get some.
Wait. To piggyback off of Eric. And first of all, what's up, Titus? And what's up, Jerry? To piggyback off of Eric, there's only but so many coaches who can take a quarterback reclamation project and try to do something.
I agree.
That's my point. There aren't that many coaches gonna say, "Oh yeah, give me him. I'm gonna fix him up." There ain't that many coaches right now in the league that's doing that.
I agree.
Okay, then.
He's better than a lot of 2 and 3s, especially 3s. That's what I'm saying.
He has the physical tools.
No, you said there was no call for him except for Harbaugh.
I'm gonna give you like this. Who would you rather have right now at this point in their career, in their career on your roster? Taylor Heineke or Trey Lance?
Trey Lance.
Boy, if you don't get your,
I would.
I know good hell well. Steve, you said that with a straight face. You said that with a straight face. Oh my God!
Yeah, it depends on the team.
Brandon got up and left too. Look at it. Well, there you go.
Hold on.
Because I've coached. It depends on the team and your weapons.
Oh my God!
Hold on. So, Keenan, we're not betting against Harbaugh, but what we're saying is Trey Lance hasn't done
if you think we talk about Harbaugh, you're missing the point.
I'm agreeing.
The point is going over your head. Harbaugh ain't got nothing to do with this.
We're not saying you. What we're saying is, Keenan just said, "Don't bet against Harbaugh." We're not betting against.
We're not betting against Harbaugh. Because that's the point that we making. Harbaugh knows how to do stuff. He can take something that's raw and fix it up and make it really good. Look what he did with Alex Smith career.
But Trey Lance has to follow up.
Right.
On his end.
But at this point, right now, at this point, Trey Lance ain't shit. I'm serious. At this point in his career, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm saying he hasn't gotten the right opportunity in Dallas because of bad development.
And we agree with you.
But we're not disagreeing with that, Steve.
Let me finish my point.
All
I'm saying is, my entire point was, I know he had more than one suitor. That's all I'm saying. And I'm done. I disagree. That's all I'm saying. We can move on.
Okay, fine. Anyway, all right. So the real reason why we're here for doing this show is because we need to discuss some of these first round players or potential players. Okay. It is April. Draft season's in full swing.
Mm-hmm.
Teams are getting their boards ready. They are having their 30-day visits.
Mm-hmm.
They getting stuff lined up. They having dinner. As say Josephine, Family Matters. But anyway,
I love that show, man.
I just said restaurant. I just said restaurant. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. But it is that say Josephine. So there's one in all 32. Well, you get my point. Anyway, listen. So, we have Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 big board, and we're gonna go over certain players with first round potential. Some of these guys should not go in the first round, and we're gonna discuss some and how we feel about them and all that other good stuff. So,
and I'm gonna say this: some of these guys are gonna go day one that really shouldn't. Some of these teams are gonna reach for some of these guys.
They are.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's going to happen because I'm gonna just say this: teams suck at drafting.
It's a
Somebody
big
is going to screw up in this draft,
and
it happens every year.
A lot of big names in this draft that people listen. They want to sell tickets, man. They want the big names.
You want to
build
listen.
listen.
You want to sell tickets. Win the Super Bowl. Build a team to win the Super Bowl. Stop looking for the flash, and build through substance. That's why. Again, what does it say? What does it say? Build through the trenches. Build the trenches. Let's do that. All right, so let's go ahead. Who's first person you want to talk about, Pando?
Well, going by what we did was just to get the folks at home that are watching kind of an idea of what we did. We went and got a consensus of some of the analysts around the NFL, their big board, their top 50. Are we going to talk about all 50 players on the top 50? Absolutely not. But we're going to look at the players that are at the very top of the top 50, like maybe the top 25, top 30 guys, since it's 32 picks in the draft. And we're going to talk about them. And we're going to basically say, you know, okay, this guy's a surefire day one pick, top of the first round. That's an example. This guy could go anywhere between the bottom of the first and day two. This guy's definitely a day two. He's going to go day one, but he's a day two quality, that type of thing. So we're just evaluating their quality, where we think they should go versus this is not where we think they're going to go. Let me be clear for those of you watching at home. We're not saying that they're going to go at that spot. We're not going to say, hey, this guy has day one qualities. And if he doesn't go on day one, just a fan don't know what they're talking about. No, that's not what we're saying because you weren't paying attention if you thought that's what we're saying. We're saying that some of these guys are going to wind up, getting picked in the first round that might be day two guys. There are going to be some guys that are going to be picked on day two that still have first round quality. So that's what we're doing. We're evaluating the quality of these guys, just to be clear, so you guys can understand what we're doing in this. We're just evaluating players based off the film that we've watched and the studying that we've done. All right. So most people have, for number one, to answer your question, Brandon, the top player on most people's boards is defensive end Abdul Carter out of Penn State. That's who they have as most of your draft, I'm going to use my air quotes, draft experts have as the number one player. This is regardless of position, by the way, folks. So I like Abdul Carter. I think he could be almost like a Micah Parsons clone. And I'm not saying that because he went to Penn State and wore 11 or nothing like that. I see a lot of his traits. And if you're looking for an edge rusher in this draft, he would be the one you want to go first. He's going to be the first edge rush off the board. Dare I say it? He's going to be a top five guy.
Yeah.
I was going to say. So let me say this because he is front seven guy, so I cover front seven. First of all, let me say this: if he doesn't go in the top five, I need to be an NFL general manager the next day. Okay, because I watched him. Matter of fact, I didn't even bother to watch the whole highlight tape because he got held two separate times. They didn't call it, and he still got the sack. So that tells me everything I need to know.
He's the best edge rusher in the draft.
Yeah, you need to build around him. Like I said, he should go in the top five with no problem. Abdul Carter's the man. Penn State. Let's keep it moving. Who's next?
Without question, I think, and some people are saying probably right now, what about the quarterbacks? I don't think these quarterbacks are that great, honestly. The number two for me is Travis Hunter. Again, let me be clear. I'm not saying Travis Hunter is going number two in the draft.
You're just giving your order of the best players.
We just putting the big board together. So don't be like, man, Pando said that Travis Hunter was going to go to Cleveland. That's not what I said.
And also, this is not even our board. This is Daniel Jeremiah's board, as I clearly stated in the beginning.
Yeah, and it also lines up with a lot of other people's boards too.
Well, he won the Heisman. I mean, we know he's one of the best if not the best players in the draft.
Yeah, and the thing is,
both sides, obviously.
What increases his value is everybody knows is his ability as a dual threat on both sides of the ball. Now, want to park here for a minute on Travis Hunter. We ain't gonna spend that much time on other players, but I want to park here on Travis Hunter and talk about Travis Hunter.
Okay.
Travis Hunter, because I've watched, I evaluate receivers and DBs. So I'm sitting up here looking at Travis, just hours and hours of Travis Hunter film. Travis Hunter is a better corner than he is a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He has the ability to be an all-pro corner sometime in his career than he would being an all-pro wide receiver.
Yep.
He's going to be, if he plays receiver, and like, let's say receiver is his main position. Like, you remember, Brown used to play for the Patriots, and he went out there and played a little DB.
Oh, Troy Brown. So Troy Brown was a receiver, but he played DB because it was an emergency move.
Right. But then they kind of kept him out there because he did so well.
Yeah.
But he's not a Troy Brown. He's not that. He's not primarily a receiver. If he's a receiver, by my analysis, he go in certain packages and really give your offense a boost. If you got a really creative offensive coordinator, he is a dangerous receiver, but he is not. That is not his primary position. His primary position should be corner and come in and play receiver in certain packages. So, looking at Travis Hunter as a corner, yes.
Let me add, E. He's underweight for a number one receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have. If you're 180, you have to have Deshaun Jackson speed, which he doesn't. Right. Have an edge, or Tyreek Hill, who's heavier than that, would be physically be able to beat the press. Now, like you said, as a corner, he has a technique. He can keep up, and he has ball skills.
Elite ball skills.
Way better as a corner than a WR1 that can get an All-Pro nod or a Pro Bowl selection.
Also, I've said in the green room before you got on, Steve, I told Eric this. I said, look, not only should he come in certain packages, but if I'm a team, I'd rather have multiple weapons already on offense. So that way, when it comes in, you're still not trying to focus in on him. Because if you're like a San Francisco that has a Christian McCaffrey or George Kittle or Brandon Ayuk, you more so focus on those guys than Travis Hunter. And that leaves Travis Hunter one-on-one against some third-string football player that can't deal with him, and he's wide the hell open making plays.
You know what? I'll make it simpler. He coming in, he has better ball skills and speed than Trevon Diggs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, he's already passed Trevon Diggs in quality as a corner. As a corner, he's way better.
I mean, skill-wise, he's there. He's not going to get burnt. I'm talking about Diggs' rookie year. He has a little bit better technique. The common thing is Diggs played corner in college, initially at Oklahoma, before transferring Alabama. And Hunter has that too. So I think he'll excel at corner more than receiver, to prove your point.
And you got to remember, Diggs was a wide receiver in high school. Matter of fact, he was one of the best receivers here in the state of Maryland. Coming out of high school.
Yeah.
But I have Travis Hunter as my, he's number 2 on my big board as well. I see him going top 5. We're not going to pontificate about what team he goes to because we're going to do a mock draft later on in later shows. But as far as my big board is concerned, the first 2 guys we talked about, these guys are definitely day one top of the top 5 picks.
Yeah, definitely top 5 picks.
If not top 3.
Yeah.
So Daniel Jeremiah has at number 3. He has Ashton Jeanty. I don't quite agree with that, but for his board, he has Ashton Jeanty. Now Ashton Jeanty is a phenomenal running back, but my opinion about running backs in this modern era of football does not place him in the top half of the first round. Could he go After 10, like the middle third, maybe, or somewhere like that, absolutely. Now, anybody who takes him before that, I think that's a reach because I just don't believe in taking running backs that high. I don't think I'm gonna put it like this: unless they are Saquon Barkley style, that level of greatness at running back, or Christian McCaffrey when he came out of Stanford, that level. If they're not at that level, they don't need to go anywhere in the top 15 of the draft.
Now, let me ask you a quick question. Do you see him going in the top 10? Do you see him potentially going in the top 10? Okay.
Yes. So those are two different things.
Oh,
No, I'm not. No. I was just asking.
Yes.
Yes.
Let me put it this way. I'm not going to say he's not going in the top 10. I'm not saying he will go in the top 10. What I'm saying is, I just think there's a potential for anything to happen because the draft is crazy every year.
I feel you.
So he can go top 10. He probably won't go top 5, but he probably can go top 10. Not saying it's guaranteed. Not saying it's a lock. But I think there's a potential that he can go top 10.
Well, he's good enough. I'm just thinking if I have a stout, it's a catch-22, man. If I have a stout O-line, I'm probably not drafting that high in the draft because I'm probably a successful team.
That is true.
But him behind a stout O-line, if they trade up, whoever, I don't know, drafting him high would be like, yo, we can run-ish for real. But the best O-lines are usually the most successful teams will draft a lot later. He's good enough to get drafted as high as anybody. It's just, who's going to do that? You know what I'm saying? That's a hard.
All it takes is one team.
All it takes is one.
That's all it takes.
Somebody. I really feel like somebody's going to reach for him. I really feel like somebody's going to reach.
It would not surprise me.
I hope so, man. He earned it, man. I really hope so, to be honest.
Yeah, but you have a very running back rich draft this year, and it's like if you really, really, really want Ashton Jeanty, and let's say you're picking somewhere between 1 and I'm gonna say, I don't know, 20.
Oh, he'll definitely go top 20.
Oh, yeah, he's no, we know that somebody's gonna reach, but I'm saying I'd trade back, pick up another pick, and then get him later on, because I just the way running backs are in the draft right now, it's like, yeah, they're good running backs, absolutely. Nobody's poo-pooing them or nothing like that.
But I think it's a Saquon kind of dude, man.
These guys, but some of these running backs are not as good as Jeanty though.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying there.
Saquon kind of guy, man. I really do.
Jeanty is different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I really think so. I honestly think so.
I've heard people say he's better than Bijan Robinson, and he is better than
I'll go with you on the Bijan Robinson.
If you watch his film, he's not. It's not like just a great O line. He's just hitting the gap. Like he's fighting off dudes. He's breaking tackles. You don't think he can break. Like he's a different kind of guy, man. I really, as far as college, I really think that personally. But we'll see. We'll see. Carry on, E.
All right, so moving on, because we for number 4, number 4 guy on Daniel Jeremiah is Mason Graham, defensive tackle out of Michigan. He's the highest rated defensive tackle on everybody's big board. Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody has another one above him.
No, they don't.
Nope, no one does.
And that being said, this is an extremely deep defensive tackle draft.
Yes. Yes.
Will he be a day one guy? Absolutely. It just depends on how the teams act. So yes, he's a day one guy. Because he not only plays the run well, it's like a fire hydrant, but he also has some pass rush ability.
Yes, he does.
And you know what? I'm pontificating about this guy too much because Brandon's our front 7 guy. Go ahead, Brandon.
Listen, this is a guy. Now I don't know where he's gonna get drafted because of position. Some people draft D tackles high, some people don't. He's definitely gonna go top 10. top 5 to me is kind of pushing it just because you got quarterbacks, you got Travis Hunter, you got Abdul Carter. So top 5 to me is kind of pushing it. If I had, do I have Tankathon up? Yes, I do.
I'm trying to get the draft order.
Yeah, draft order. He could probably. He might slide.
You said
He falls. I don't think he's getting past 11.
No,
I don't think he get past 11. And I'm saying
Mason
from
Graham.
because
Because
and
Mason
we
Graham,
are
tackle
deficient
Mister.
along the defensive line. And if we have an opportunity to draft the best D lineman in the draft, and he falls to us at 11.
Yeah, he might fall. He might fall because now New England could take him
I think New England's gonna go after Travis Hunter. Honestly,
if he's available.
he probably won't be available. I think Kenneth Grant. They're on the same team.
Yes.
He's the other knee tackle.
Yes.
If it were me, I would draft him more than Mason because he's taller, he weighs more.
see, that's a debate you can get into because this is a very deep.
In the
You tackle draft.
NFL, you're not playing against Rutgers. You're not playing against, Indiana. Like you can't be lighting behind. So I'm looking at that. I'm just saying I'm looking at it.
No, you're not wrong.
In the mock draft, they're probably 5 mock draft spots apart. I'm getting the bigger guy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not mad at you for saying that at all because I really do like Kenneth Grant. And I know some people got 2nd-round grades on Kenneth Grant. I got 1st-round grade on Kenneth Grant. I do. I like Kenneth Grant a lot. I
like
really
them.
do.
I like them both.
You're talking about 6'4", 331 versus 6'3", 296.
But not only is he 296, he doesn't have great measurables as far as like arm length and stuff.
And then when you're partnered on the same D line with the Beast in the conference, I mean,
that's a good point, Steve. Because like his production could be
absolutely
a byproduct of Graham being great.
Remember the Williams Wall in Minnesota?
Yeah.
It's something interesting.
Listen. Like I said, I'm not mad at you because I really do like Kenneth Grant. I do. Yeah. Like I said, Mason Graham could slide. Like Eric said, though, it may not be past 11 though.
Yeah, but then again, I'm gonna be real. John Lynch does stupid stuff in the 1st round. He's known for like the rest of the draft, pow. But that 1st round, it'd be like, what the hell? So,
all right, keep going. Keep going. My bad. I mean the.
Okay. Number 5 is Jalen Walker, edge out of Georgia.
So Jalen Walker is 6'1", 248, something like that.
He's had to be scheme specific, honestly.
You do. Because it's not so much scheme specific. You have to know how to use them. Okay? Because if you're going to use them as an off-ball linebacker, don't use them as the green dot guy.
No.
Use them as
strong side.
Yeah. Use them as like, hey, I see this. Go do that. Okay. I can go do that. Now, if you put them on the edge, don't do it against the run. Do it against the pass. Line them up in wide 9. Tell him go get the quarterback.
Yeah. See that, and that's
and develop some pass rush moves. And I think he's fine.
But that takes away, that brings his value down because now he's a situational pass rusher instead of an every down edge.
Yeah, I know. And see, that's my problem with him because he's a weapon, but like you say, situational.
Right. So situational pass rushers, I'm sorry, in my opinion, do not go day one. Will he go day one? Probably. Should he go day one? No. Because of his limited ability to contribute, because of him just being a 248, that's really light.
That's light. That is light.
You're gonna be in a 3-4.
And a weak side outside linebacker.
Yeah. That's the only time I see him on the field all 3 downs.
Yeah.
That's the only time I see him on the field all three downs.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not going to spend a first-round draft pick on something like that.
Yeah. So
I'm going to let him come on down. I might go get him at the top of the second.
Now, which means now there are some 3-4 teams, though. The Giants run a 3-4. New England runs a 3-4. Jacksonville runs a 3-4. I don't know if he goes that high. Now, Jacksonville might take him just because they loved it. They took Trayvon Walker and they were just dumb today to give him that fifth-year option, but whatever. But he can go to Carolina. Yeah, there's some teams that probably take him, but yeah, I'm not. If you take him in the first round, it's got to be at the bottom, like Philadelphia or something.
Yeah, bottom of the first, top of the second, top of the 8. And again, we want to be clear, those of you watching at home, we're ranking these guys where we think they should go, not where they will go. This is not a Notre Dame type of show. He's gonna go. No, we think he's gonna go at a certain spot, but we feel like he should go at a different spot. Number 6, Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State. Best tight end in the draft.
Yeah, they got him as the best tight end in the draft. I didn't even look at this film, to be honest with you, because I've been paying attention so much to the defensive guys. Because
you have him as next best player.
Yeah, that's what they have him as. They got him number.
They got him high.
Yeah, they got him number 6.
Okay.
And I think what it is that because of his versatility, he can play H-back, he can play tight end, he can play fullback.
Yeah, he's nice.
He's almost like a Kyle Juszczyk, where he can move around. He's a chess piece. That being said, I think that he's that good of a player. I just don't,
that's high.
It would be a team that has that specific need to take him.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he goes top 10. I don't know if he even goes top 15.
I got McMillan going way over him. Now
when we get to McMillan, we finna fight, Steve. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
He's not going over McMillan. E.
No, I think I'm not saying that he's going over McMillan. I'm saying it as far as the quality of the player.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let's go.
Tyler Warren has more value than Ted McMillan. And I'm just being real.
Wait. You saying the number 1 tight end has more value over the number 1 ranked receiver in the entire
He's the number 1 ranked receiver, but the receiver class ain't that juicy. I'm gonna put it like that. It ain't like that. They deep, but they not like that, Steve.
No, not the class. McMillan is ranked super higher than the tight end.
He the most expensive thing in Family Dollar. That's how I feel about Ted McMillan.
Wow.
How you feel?
So he the number 1 receiver in this class, but he the most expensive thing at Family Dollar.
Wow.
I looked at that film. He's and we're gonna get to him in a minute, but because he's not, and that's the reason why he's not very high on these big boys for these guys. Because that's the issue. So we gonna get to it.
I will bet you.
I think
higher than your tight end. E.
I think McMillan is better than what people are giving him credit for.
Okay, we gonna eventually get to him, but we got a ways to go before we can get down to him.
Okay, let's go. Next, Who's next?
This one's nuts. I think this guy's a day 2 at best. This is Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan. Day 2 guy.
I don't even know who the guy is. I just saw his name. I was like 7. I was like, no. Anyway, next.
Finally, we got a quarterback, Cam Ward at number 8.
He's going top 2.
He's going top 2.
He'll probably go number 1. He'll probably go number 1 in Tennessee.
He'll probably go number 1 simply because of need. And that's why, Tristan, you need to be on the show because you can really give us some background on that, and we can really go in depth with that. Number 9, G.I. Campbell, linebacker, first real off the ball linebacker in highest ranked off the ball linebacker.
So He's not your typical Alabama linebackers of the past.
No.
Okay. And what I mean is, even though he messed up in the NFL, Rolando McClain, Reuben Foster, Dante Hightower was fantastic.
CJ
Mosley. All those guys have one thing in common: that middle linebacker. They had it up here. They had it up there between the ears. Okay, they were smart and they can diagnose the plays. They were green dot guys, all of them. Campbell's not that. Campbell is a off-ball linebacker, kind of like how I just said Jalen Walker is. He's a weapon. That's what he is. He's a weapon. I think.
Yeah, he's the number one ranked at his position.
Yeah, I know, but he's a weapon. And what was his size? 6'3", 235? Yeah, so, yeah, he's, like I said, weak side guy. If you have a green dot guy like a Fred Warner, hey, go do this. I see this, go do this, go do that, and then, yeah, make it happen.
If you have your established green dot.
That guy, then, yeah, it'll work.
Then
But if not, then, yeah. Yeah, so.
He's going to be a beast.
He'll be a beast, but he's not a green dot guy. You, again, you have to.
Now, could he develop into that guy? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can always develop. Development is year round. Development is on all levels: high school, college, professional. What I'm saying though, what he is right now is he's not a green dot guy. So if you're going to ask him to be a green dot guy, you have to develop him into that. But right now, he's not.
So where do you have him? Not where do you think he's going, but where would you put him?
Top 15, top 20.
So he's still a day one guy.
Yeah, still day one guy.
Absolutely.
Now, what I've heard is that he has some injury concerns, so he might fall to day two. I've heard that. So don't be surprised if that happens.
That's a big exclamation point / red flag.
And to me, that's a red flag too, because my theory is if you have injury concerns coming out of college, you're going to have some injury concerns on a professional level because NFL is a bigger beast.
Yes, sir.
These guys eat off-season peanut butter every year. They play way more games just during a regular season than you do in college. So your body's going to have a higher chance of breaking down faster than it would in college. Plus, they really think that this 18-game season might get passed. Okay.
Yeah, but you when it comes down to it, you can't knock his talent.
No, you can't knock his talent. See, going back to this whole injury thing, the only person who I can say when he had some injury issues in college, he wasn't like that in the NFL was Frank Gore. Mm-hmm. Frank Gore tore his ACLs, I think, in both knees, and he just still tore the league up.
And it should be in the Hall of Fame.
He should be going to Hall of Fame.
He will be.
Yeah, I don't think he's eligible yet, though.
No, he will be, but we know he'll get in.
All right, let's keep it moving. Number 10, Will Campbell, offensive tackle, LSU. Now there is a big controversy behind who the best tackle in this draft is between Will Campbell, Ahmad Membu, and Kelvin Banks. It's a three-way, like, digit. So people are going back and forth with that. Will Campbell is the number 10 on Daniel Jeremiah's list.
So let me just say something about Banks. I've heard Banks. One of my favorite guys who I trust when it comes to offensive line, I heard Banks is more of a guard than a tackle. But Campbell, they talking about he lacks weight. You can put weight on. You can put weight on.
Yeah. I
mean, Dallas did with Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith was 295 coming out of Southern Cal. That man was 325 by year 2 or 3. Like, stop it.
Yeah, man. You put a guy like that in an NFL nutrition program, and
come on, man.
You can put on 10 pounds real quick.
Yeah.
And for linemen, it doesn't hurt him as bad as say a position that relies on speed like defensive back or receiver.
Like cornerback.
Yeah,
Emmanuel Mosley.
yeah. No, not Emmanuel Mosley. You talking about the guy from Washington?
I'm saying Emmanuel Mosley because he came out of college weighing 145 pounds.
Well, yeah, that too. But we were talking about that guy a couple of years ago. He's like on the practice squad for another team now, and your boy was talking about how great he was going to be, and we were both saying he was too skinny.
That was Emmanuel Mosley.
No, that wasn't Emmanuel Mosley. This is a couple of years ago.
No. Oh, I'm sorry.
He weighed 168 pounds. He was 6'3", weighed 168.
You know, oh yeah. Sheesh.
He played for the Commanders.
2023.
Yeah,
God, you gonna make me go back now. Give me a second. I'm sorry.
But yeah, we'll come back to it. So number 11, Jahdae Barron. Now let me tell you something. Jahdae Barron is gonna go somewhere in the middle of the draft in the first round. But Jahdae Barron, I have him very high.
Emmanuel Forbes,
that was his name. Yeah. But Jahdae Barron is special. And the reason why, because you know how they always say your best ability is availability, but your next best ability is versatility.
Yep.
And I got a thing for defensive backs who are super versatile. Mm-hmm. Like they can go anywhere in the freaking secondary and eat. Jahdae Barron is that dude. There are several defensive backs that I've looked at over. I'm still pouring over film, but there are several defensive backs in this draft that had fit that box where, okay, Jahdae Barron just happened to be the best one out of all of them. Jahdae Barron can go outside, play boundary corner. Jahdae Barron can line up in the slot. Jahdae Barron can play deep middle of the field. And he can play single high. He can be that guy. He can play in the box.
You know,
he has a tackling ability to basically be a dime linebacker. Okay, you put on the film of Jahdae Barron and you just like, he leaps off the screen.
Okay.
I watched a bunch of film. There's some guys like, okay, he's pretty good. Jahdae Barron leaps off the screen and says, hey, I'm a first rounder. Clock it. Because watch me do this. Oh, you saw me do that good? Watch me go over here and do something different and do that really well. Watch me go over here and do this. Jahdae Barron should be a top 10 pick. He probably won't. But in my opinion, he should be a top 10 pick. Because
let me butt in real quick. So back to the last players, the trench guys, the tackles, the ends. I have a formula for scouting. So I had it with Chase Young. If you're projected this high at this position, who did you go against in your conference that scouted high as well?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did. I remember bringing that up. Because hold on.
Go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off. Because when Chase Young came out of Ohio State,
he only went against Rashawn Slater.
He only went against Rashawn Slater. Rashawn Slater shut him
down. Listen, no one else in the Big Ten that year that played offensive tackle got drafted.
That's true. Because Rashawn Slater came out a year afterwards.
So now what are you?
No one.
Okay, Steve, I hear what you're saying, but what prospect are you talking about right here?
So no. So I'm not bashing anyone. What I'm saying is I'm grading like the old tackles, the LSU. Okay, Campbell is looking good. Okay. Reviewing film on going against SEC ends.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that.
Okay,
so I'm reviewing. I gotta look at that film to see what to get against the best, right? Because
I see where
they're way better than the best in college. You know,
I see what it's at.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
I get it.
And honestly, these it's hard to clock that because you have mismatches, you have different packages and stuff. But I'm looking at who's getting drafted and what you did against them.
I give you that.
Especially when you're dealing with a lot of one-on-one type scenarios,
exactly.
like defensive ends and tackles and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But getting back to Jahdae Barron, and I don't want to stay too long on it, but
he's nice.
He's like only because Travis Hunter has that versatility on the other side of the ball, and only because Will Johnson, was really good for so long at Michigan is the reason why I think they the two higher placed defensive backs above Jahdae Barron. But Jahdae Barron is like,
and he went against better receivers in that Big 12 conference.
Yeah, well, no, the SEC.
Sorry,
SEC. Yeah,
that's better than Big 12 Colorado. Sorry, Colorado Big 12 is better caliber class receivers in his conference versus Hunters. And we know Hunter's a beast, but
but Jahdae Barron is like a Brian Branch type of dude almost. Yeah. He's like Brian Branch, C.J. Gardner-Johnson when he was good.
Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson. He's
more of a Charles Woodson, Minka Fitzpatrick type DB versus what Travis Hunter is. Travis Hunter is more of an outside guy.
He's just a boundary guy.
Yeah,
he's a boundary. He's a very doggone it. He fire as a boundary guy.
Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is more of a Darrelle Revis, Deion Sanders, Champ Bailey type corner as far as being on the outside. That's what Eric is saying.
But Jahdae Barron can go anywhere. Like when they call his name, he's listed as a corner. But when they call his name on draft night, they need to say Jahdae Barron, defensive back, Texas. They don't need to say corner. They don't need to say safety. They say defensive back because he fits anywhere in the secondary. And he's so versatile. He can fit in any scheme and play well.
And then we got to remember, when a lot of these guys hit the league, they're going to have elite strength, fitness coaches, and dietitians.
Oh, that's true.
That's so true. The pros is so different than college as far as that whole aspect, man. They're going to be completely transformed.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on. Number 12, Ahmad Membu. Again, here's the controversy, the tackle controversy. Will Campbell and Ahmad Membu are kind of like remember that draft when Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf was coming out and everybody was debating about who the best was?
Yeah.
I'm not saying one of them going to be a bust. I'm not saying that. But that's what type of debate is going on as far as tackles are concerned with Ahmad Membu and Will Campbell.
Okay.
Yeah. Ahmad Membu could good tackles are at a premium in this draft. And I'm gonna tell you right now, all the good ones gonna be gone probably by the end of the second round. Unless you just find you a sleeper. Now, I didn't watch a lot of film on tackles this year because I had so many DBs and receivers to look at. But just briefly looking at these guys, both of them, they packing the gear. So, like, it don't – so they going to be the first
– going against good D-lines consistently.
That part. They are going to both be day one guys. I just don't see it at the very worst. Top of day two. And I don't see that. I think that's like an outlier.
Okay.
Like I think both Will Campbell and Ahmad Membu are both going to be guys, excuse me, who are going to go high, especially with the demand on linemen. Because old linemen, for some reason, are at a premium now. When you got guys who were backup linemen for most of their careers on their first team, going into free agency and getting these huge deals, they were backups. That's telling you that there's a demand on offensive linemen. So it's like you got to either know what you're looking at and scout and find some good ones late in the draft, or have a really good offensive line coach, or I don't know. You just gotta do something. All right, moving on. We're looking at number 13. Number 13 is Omarion Hampton, running back, North Carolina.
So,
talk to me, Brandon.
There's some mixed views on Omarion Hampton. He started off as a second-round grade, but some people are saying that he could possibly go in the first round, which would not surprise me if he goes in the first round. Now, where does he go in the first round? I'm not even sure. I don't. I've heard as high as 12 to Dallas, maybe even.
I've heard that.
I've heard low top 10 even. I don't know where he's going though. I really don't. But he probably will go in the first round. But I think he's a second round running back that's probably going to be drafted higher than he should
It's gonna be a
Yeah.
reach.
because
My second round probably.
because a lot of people are wondering how soon there's going to be a run on running backs. Some people are saying if you want a particular running back, you may not be able to get him a second. You may not be able to get him by the time you pick in second round because they might go early in the second round, if that makes sense. So you might reach
It does.
for Hampton just because you want to make sure you get him.
I'm gonna say this, B. If Zach Martin didn't retire, we would probably go for a running back in the first round. Genty or Hampton.
You know what?
I think you still might.
No.
But y'all know your team better than I do. So
Yeah, no, we're not. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Like the big name. I know what needs we have, like where our needs are, but
And we do need a running back, but
it won't be Hampton. It won't be Hampton. His name's not big enough, and number one, it's not the need that we actually need to address. Number two, his name isn't big enough for Genty. If Genty, I don't want to do draft preview right now. If he's available, we're gonna get him because he's the name, and that's just what we do.
it's about the name.
Yeah,
More than anything.
Yeah.
Number 14, Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan.
go ahead and shut that down, man.
Okay, so Will Johnson, yeah, he's. I have nothing negative to really say about him because not only this is not a guy who had one good year in college. He's like been a starter for, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years, if not 3. I got to go back and look, and he was productive in all those years. So he has experience. Now, the only knock that you could talk about is possibly going against these Big Ten wide receivers. That's the thing.
Now,
outside Ohio State,
I was going to say, yeah.
Outside Ohio State, it's like, so
man, he ain't.
yeah. So but he could, as of late, since probably 2022. Michigan has been known to put out some pretty solid defensive backs. So I have Jahdae Barron ahead of him. I have Travis Hunter ahead of him. But could he slip into the middle third or the bottom third of the draft based on teams? Depending on what teams are doing, if they're going for need or BPA. Now he could slip to a team.
Second round. He'll go second round.
Second round is his floor. I mean, that's his floor. His ceiling is somewhere in the teens, in the order the preteens and the teens.
Yeah,
okay.
That's his ceiling.
Okay.
Because he's that good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's not. Next up, Nick Emenwari. This guy is a massive, huge safety. And when you look at him, you automatically assume, okay, this is a box safety. This guy's just he's gonna be in the box, he's gonna be thumping people, he's gonna be like a nickel linebacker or whatever. Yes, he's that. Because you know why? He started off as a linebacker and switched to safety. So you're probably gonna say, well, Nick, Emenwari, yeah, that's cool. Box guy, box guys come a dime a dozen. NFL got $1, but he runs a 4.37.
He's a specimen, man.
So
he is fast.
On the film and watch him go to cover the deep middle and be rangy, go from sideline from at least numbers to numbers.
Well, hold on. Eric, sorry to cut you off. You say he runs 4.37. Look at his vertical jump at 43 inches.
Exactly.
Look at his board. His board jump is 11.6. He bench pressed 20 reps.
He's got linebacker size,
yeah,
but got defensive back speed. And like this guy,
that's a weapon. That's a weapon.
Now, if you get some defense coordinator don't know what to do, he's not gonna do much. But if he's with a good DC, oh my God! Because here's a guy that's gonna stay on the field.
Yes.
3 downs. Because guess what? The first 2 downs, he probably in the box. And he probably is plugging holes like a regular linebacker. And then third down, okay, I'm going to deep middle of the field. I'm gonna defend this post you about to throw. Or I'm gonna get on top of this 9 route because I got the speed to get over there.
There's a lot of weapons in this draft.
Oh, you want to go in the red zone with your tight end? I'm gonna cover him man for man. I got the physicality and the speed.
You know what? He should be drafted for that reason. Not that reason only, but he should be drafted for that reason. Because if you're going up against a team that has a legitimate tight end and you've been struggling against tight ends, you can say, hey, look, give me this guy now. I can eliminate tight ends and I can go cover 2 all day long.
Okay, so just to keep it moving because we're running short on time. 16, Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas. He could be an X. He can be in the slot. He has elite speed. So he can be that guy to just take the top off. Again, I fall in love with guys whose best ability is their versatility. That's my saying. Because you can stick him, you can put him in certain packages. He has the physicality to do end rounds and break tackles and stuff like that. This was like a really good receiver core. They came out of Texas, basically. And he was just waiting his turn, waiting for Xavier Worthy and all of them to leave. And before he came up, he was already making plays before then. But he's really good. Matthew Golden. And honestly, I have him over Ted McMillan. Number 17, Igbuka, Ohio State, wide receiver. Same thing. That's why I got him over Ted McMillan. So those are guys that that I have over Ted McMillan, and because of their ability to do so many things in the offense as opposed to, I guess you could say, one thing. And finally, 8. Okay, go ahead, because I'm going to go to who 18 is.
I know it's Ted McMillan. I see it. My thing with Ted McMillan is this.
We're probably going to be saying the same thing. Go ahead.
The guy can catch. His catch radius is just vicious, man.
Yes.
His catch radius is ferocious. For someone who caught a lot of passes from a quarterback who can't throw, because that was his high school teammate from what I understand. He is someone who, now, I understand when we say the other guys can do more, but this guy, if you're number 2 corner and you can't,
problems. Yeah,
you're in trouble. You're in trouble. I would love him in Dallas at number 12.
So let me get to that. Let me stop you right there. Ted McMillan is the best receiver if he's going to be your number 2. I'll put it like that. Okay. He's Mike Evans without not quite the Mike Evans speed. He's a superb red zone threat. Like you talking about his catch radius, his high pointing of the ball, all of that. I don't like his route tree.
I understand. I get it.
Igbuka and Golden, I like their route trees better.
Okay.
But is Ted McMillan going to go before them? Yes.
Okay.
He's going to go before them in the draft. They're going to reach for Ted. And I'm just like, I'm not saying he's sorry, but I'm not impressed. I'm impressed at what he does well, but he doesn't do a lot of things well. He does one thing exemplary. Whereas all of these other guys, they do a lot of stuff really well. I'd rather have the guy who does a lot of stuff really, really good as opposed to that guy who does one thing exemplary. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So that's my opinion on Ted McMillan. Number 19, Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur Sanders is a quarterback. I wish Tristan was here, but Shedeur Sanders is a quarterback who I think a lot of people are just sleeping on for real.
But he'll go higher than that. We all know that.
I mean, of course he will go higher than that, but I just think teams are really I don't know if it's teams sleeping on him. I think the media is sleeping.
He's getting a bad rap from the media. Absolutely.
He really is. He really, really is. And it's sad.
Because
because people have forgotten how to use a pocket passing quarterback media wise. Okay, a smart offensive coordinator knows how to use Shedeur Sanders. They know how to build a team around him. That's all I got to say, man.
He's too he's in this era, man. He's just too visible with social media and saying stuff, not doing stuff, doing stuff. It's just tough, man, for him right now.
Yeah, I get it. You know, he's always going to be on social media. You know, for one, he's a quarterback too. His last name,
exactly.
So, you know,
Deion was social media before social media was a thing. Like he was,
man.
That's facts.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Listen, people better be glad Instagram and TikTok and stuff was not around back then.
Deion was 21 hitting home runs and scoring touchdowns in the same week, man.
Sometimes the same day.
Exactly, and wearing gold chains and talking and stuff. Like it's this is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
So here's my thing about Shedeur, and so we can move on. Shedeur, I think, has a very, very big upside because he has a lot of pro skills that are needed to play in this league.
He got the mental capability to play in the league.
He does. But that being said, I think that the pro game might be his first year might be a little too rough for him, and people are gonna like dog him out because he's gonna go somewhere that's not a very good team. Now should he go to the best place for him to go, and we'll cover this later on our mock draft stuff. But the best place, in my opinion, for him to go would be to the Giants, where Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston are already there, and he does not have to start year one.
There you go. I give you that.
That's and then let him sit and learn, and then let him just shine.
I hear you, but there's no way he's gonna be QB3 on the roster being drafted that high.
No, I think he'll be one of them.
QB3s don't even usually stay on the roster throughout the season.
He won't be.
Matter of fact,
I think he has a possibility he might be able to beat out Jameis Winston.
Now I tell you what.
Nah.
If he doesn't go number 3, I'll take him number 7 and let him sit behind Justin Fields for a year.
He'll be minimum QB2, if that.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree.
Okay.
I think that this is what I think about what the Giants are doing, and that stuff is so unorthodox, and we need to keep going. But I think that they realize that they trying to create one good starting quarterback by fusing 2 together. Because Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson both have big playability, but they also have ability to crap the bed where you have to burn the sheets. Okay, so it's like, oh hell, Russell on his BS today. Come on, Jameis. Jameis, finish the game.
Hey, Pando. They did it to themselves, and let's move on.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So I think they hedging their best by bringing both of those guys.
They did it to themselves.
Yeah. All right, number 20 in Daniel Jeremiah's mock is Tyler Booker. I don't see him going day 1. I see him as a top of the day 2. He's the best guard.
He's the best guard. Yep. All right.
Yeah, he's day 2. Mike Green. This is a sleeper.
I got Mike Green really.
Edge Marshall.
So he's athletic. Okay. My question is the level of competition because, like how Steve said, he was at Marshall. It's not like he was at Alabama or in ACC or whatever. He was at Marshall. So
he's rated high. He's rated really high though. I've seen some mocks where he's top 10.
Yeah.
I've seen some where he's really up there.
I know he is, but I think he might struggle a little bit to NFL because of NFL size.
True. Yeah.
Because he had it so easy at Marshall that it was just easy to dominate.
Now,
if we're thinking size, he has the Micah Parsons measurements.
You're right. He does. But Micah Parsons went to Penn State.
I'm not saying I'm saying size. You said
size. I know. But Mike Green went to Marshall, and Micah Parsons went to Penn State.
That's true.
Interjection.
Go ahead.
I agree with both of you. I think I think y'all are leaning toward him being a day 2 guy. I agree with that. I think he'll go higher than that. That doesn't mean that.
He will.
That doesn't mean that we're saying that
he would go second half of the first round.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think somebody's they're gonna plastic man it and they're gonna stretch Armstrong it. But
CBS has him as the second best edge on the board.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
And I think he's a reach day one. But versus what we're thinking where he should be and where he's gonna go are two different things. Sure. We want to be clear for those of y'all that still watching. Let's keep it rolling. Mikael Williams, edge, Georgia.
Man, I like Mikael Williams. 20 years old, 6'5", 260. This man has grown man strength already. He needs to get bigger, but he was able to hold up as a 4-eye in Georgia scheme, and he can line up as a wide 9. And if you can handle being a 4-eye in Georgia scheme, that says a lot about you.
I hadn't seen film on him, but what you're saying, and I'm deferring to you, he has day one quality, but you don't think he's going to be day one. Is that what you're saying?
I don't. Go ahead, B.
He probably won't go day one. He might go second half, first round. He might go second half, first round.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Being that tall as a DN, name one DN that height that has been successful in the NFL. It's hard to get leverage under a professional tackle.
He's 6'5". He's not 6'7".
Brandon, that's still tall as hell.
Steve. Okay, so let me interject there. As a defensive line coach, you can work on pad level. If you can't work on pad level by now in the NFL, something wrong with you. Stop.
Something wrong with a lot of players.
I need to be a defensive line coach in the NFL because I can work on pad level.
We know that.
Okay, then so they work on pad level.
Brandon,
Steve. If I'm at a high school and we have a shoot, then these NFL teams should be able to afford the most expensive shoot in American history. I don't want to hear it. You can work on pad level.
Okay.
Then work on it.
You and he gave me two crazy.
Developmental doesn't stop just because you make it to the NFL. Work on his pad level.
What I'm saying
I don't care if he's 6'5". Steve, I don't care if he's 6'5".
Name 165 in. I'm not saying he can't be good. I'm just saying it's really tough, and we know
because coaches don't work on pad level. That's why.
Okay, let's keep it moving because we still got more prospects to cover.
He's 6'5". He can't get under. Come on, man. He can't get low with a tackle.
I can teach him.
Okay, so Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, who's risen the big boards over the last.
Yeah, because I'm like,
defensive tackle out of Oregon, same place that DeForest Buckner came from.
I was like, yo, where does this dude come from in this high up?
Yeah, anyway, because he's had some impressive workouts. He's got some good film on file, and he's had some impressive workouts as of late. He's met with several teams, and they're all interested in him. Do I think he's a day one guy?
No.
Do I think he can be day one quality? Yes.
Yeah. He, the highest he might go might be late first round.
But who's this again? Who's this?
Derek Harmon, defensive tackle out of Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people comparing him to DeForest Buckner just because of the school he came from. They compared Abdul Carter to Michael Parsons. So
and they about to do LeVar Arrington II the same way. Watch.
Mm-hmm. So moving on, Grace Zabel, interior offensive lineman. I don't know how he got that high.
I don't know either.
North Dakota State, who is starting to put people in the league.
Probably because of the school he went to. That's it.
Yeah. So
day two guy.
Yeah, he's a day two guy because he has tackle ability as well as interior. But I don't see day two. I honestly see him late day two maybe.
Okay.
Just because of what the teams need that are drafting, and also just He's from North Dakota State, man. It's a small school.
That is a small school.
Yeah.
But they've been the most successful though. North Dakota State, man.
Donovan Izikuraru. I hope I said that right, sir. If you're watching this, I apologize if I butchered your name.
Yeah, I just call him Donovan E. Day 2 guy. We'll see what happens. He had
Daniel Jeremiah has him ahead of James Pierce, who's next.
Yeah, I see. And I mean, he had a lot of sacks this past season, I see. But Day 2 guy. We'll see. We'll see what happens with him.
James Pierce Jr. and Shamar Stewart, edge, respectively, Tennessee and Texas A&M. So
man, listen,
3 edges in a row.
Listen, man, James Pierce probably go late first round, second round. Shamar Stewart should go mid to late second round. I'm sorry. I know Shamar Stewart is athletic as hell. I get him, man, but dude, I need to see more from you, man. I need to see more.
Okay, moving on.
Because you're athletic as hell, but I need to see more.
Yeah,
Watson.
Yeah, I agree.
Watson Nolan, same thing.
Only
thing is he's a defensive tackle versus defensive end. I feel like he's mid, late second round, maybe third round defensive tackle. I know one time people were saying he can go like 11 or 12. I'm not taking him 11 or 12. You take him 11 or 12, then you get slapped. Next.
Malachi Starks is where I step in. Safety. Georgia. Malachi I have him right under Imararu. I think he's somewhat versatile, but he doesn't match the versatility of Imararu at a safety position. He can do some things, like he does one thing really, really well, and then does some other things kind of good.
Okay.
And I have day 2, third round. That's my third round grade on him.
Okay.
Moving on, this back to you, Brandon. Kenneth Grant, defensive.
We talked about Kenneth Grant, man. Listen, he'll probably get drafted in round 2, maybe late first round. But I if you take him, you might, depending on where you get him, you might be getting a steal, or you might be getting him right where you should be. But I like Kenneth Grant. I really do.
I do too, man. I think he's better. I think he's a little better than. I won't say better. More NFL ready than his
counterpart. I got you.
Mason Graham.
Yeah, that's just my opinion. Yeah.
I understand. Hey, listen. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue on that.
All right, Kelvin Banks, 30. Right after that, Texas offensive tackle. He's that third tackle that we talking about.
Yeah, like I said, I've heard people. My guy who I trust sees him more as a guard, but we'll see what happens.
The thing is what are his arms like?
Did they get the measurement at the combine?
I didn't. I don't cover offensive line.
So
not bad.
They say he's better in pass protection than the run, and you shouldn't say that about a player.
You should say what?
That he's better in pass than the run, right? I mean, if you're drafting him, so he has his order, but other mocks have him super high. It's like, shouldn't you want someone that's like as good on each? So it's concerns about his run blocking right now, pretty much.
Well, if he's
if there's 5-15, it's not the.
If there's concern about his running, well, you can kind of hide the running a little bit, not much. So.
Yeah. And my mistake, tackles don't pull like that. Guards usually do. So my mistake about that. But I mean,
listen, if he has the technique just to hold off in the block for about 2 or 3 seconds, and that's all you need sometimes.
That's true. You
just need just enough.
That's true. We can't expect everyone to be a Tyron Smith or Trent Williams. Well,
I know. Oh, trust me, I know.
Left
tackles is hard to find.
Yeah, I got to remind myself that, like, okay, everyone can't do that,
And then also, again, with this draft, tackles being at a premium, especially tackles.
He'll probably go higher than he should.
He's going to go higher than he should because just tackles, those 3, Will Campbell, Ahmad Membu, and Kelvin Banks, are gonna go higher than they should.
The
There's
best
another
O
tackle.
lineman in this draft, in every draft, go in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, the
At
tackles
the
always go.
latest.
Yeah, and then there's
After that, yeah.
Ariante Ursay. He's a fourth guy. He's not on this list right now, but he talking about tackles. He's that fourth tackle. That's because you got like 1, 2, 3, then 4.
There are very few great tackles. They always go as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was explaining to one of my friends in one of my other chat groups. I was talking, he's like, "Hey, this is my Niners friends. We were talking, and he's like, "Yeah, we need to get a D tackle, pick 11." I said, "D tackles are all over the place. We can get a good one."
They go the highest.
Yeah, I said, as far as offensive tackle is concerned, there are not a lot of good ones in this draft. So
you need to get one. You need to get one immediately.
You need to get one immediately.
Listen, after the middle second round is like the latest. Anyone after that, they're not special.
It's between 45 and 50.
They're just bodies.
They're not going to be special. They're not going to be all pros. They're not going to stand out. Like the best ones go super early.
Yeah, they bodies. So you want an old tackle, you got to get him early. But that's what I was trying to explain. I said defensive tackles, you can probably find a starting defensive tackle that's going to raise hell even as far as the third round, late in the third.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like you dealing with a shortage of food. You in the grocery store, and you got a whole freezer, not freezer, but cooler full of jugs of milk, and there's like 4 dozen eggs over there.
Yep.
You gonna grab them 4 dozen eggs first, and then you gonna go get your milk. Don't go get some milk. And then you come back, ain't gonna be no eggs.
That's the one unique trench position that you got to get them early, man. Like
you do.
Or you have average players in that position moving on in the draft.
All right, let's go through. We ain't gonna be able to get to all 50, but we're gonna run off some names. Y'all just tell me day 1, day 2, day 3. This next one is Mason Taylor, tight end, LSU.
He's moving up draft boards. That's Jason Taylor's son. He might go day 2. He'll probably be a day 2 guy.
I got late day 2 on him. What you got, Steve?
Day 2, day 3.
I'm looking forward to seeing him.
I mean, tight ends is it's not a huge need. Most teams have really good tight ends already. I see him going, mid day, day 2, day 3, round 3, round 4, yeah.
Okay, Luther Burden III, wide receiver, Missouri. I got him. Depending on what a team likes, he's in that same thick with Golden and Ibuka. He's in that same group. And Tetaroa.
You said Luther Burden?
Yeah, Luther Burden.
Yeah.
So it depends on what the teams like. So he could go anywhere from in the middle of the first all the way to day 2, because it just depends on what teams like when they look at those prospects. Trayvon Henderson, running back, Ohio State. Now I heard was sniffing around him, Dallas.
Yeah, I heard the same thing too.
Well, yeah, we know we're getting them running back in the draft. I don't know, man. I don't know what we're gonna do. I would hope interior O-line, but we'll see.
It's hard to say what Dallas is going to do.
Well, he won't.
It's really hard to say what
in the first round. That's for sure. We get the biggest name, the best player available in the first round.
Well, yeah, okay.
No matter our needs, we're gonna get the best player, the biggest name.
Yep. All right. Next.
All right. Maxwell Harrison, cornerback, Kentucky. I really like this guy. He's my. I didn't put Jahdae Barron with the corners. I just put him as defensive back. So really, in my opinion, he's my third best corner on my board.
Okay.
I think he's going to be a good starter. It just depends on the floor of the draft, because the further you get down this list, it depends on the floor of the draft. Right. He can go anywhere from the back of round 1 all the way to the back of round 2. I don't see him getting out of round 2 because he's that good.
Yeah, they say he's the third best at his position, man.
Yeah, that's why I kind of got him there by third, because you got Travis Hunter, Will Johnson, Maxwell Harrison. Jahdae Barron is listed as a corner, but I mean, I got him as an everyman. It's like, I think Jahdae Barron is going to go before him, but we talking about just sheer corners, pure cornerbacks. Maxwell Harris is the third best on the board. 36 Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart's probably go top 15, maybe even top 10, depending on
He's
what
rising the
happens.
boards.
Okay.
He's rising the boards. Oh God, I forgot about this guy. There's a fifth tackle. Josh Simmons, Ohio State. I completely forgot about this guy, but his stock is dropping.
Yeah, I think they wondered about that knee injury. It's just health. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Man, Ohio State has a lot of players that will get drafted days 1 and 2, man. A lot.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will.
A lot, man.
A receiver, offensive tackle, and a running back.
Dude,
and maybe even quarterback.
My projection is that is going to be
they have a lot.
Texas and Ohio State are probably going to have the most players drafted.
Yes, yes, absolutely, 100%, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. The other running back for Ohio State, Quinshon Jenkins. Then you got Josh Connolly, tackle for Oregon, and then Benjamin Morrison will stop at 40. Benjamin Johnson, cornerback, Notre Dame, and that's what we'll stop for.
Benjamin Morrison, quarterback, yeah.
Now I'm not that high on him. I think he's good, not great. I got him as a day 2, third rounder.
Yeah, he's day 2. Yeah.
He's day 2, but yeah. So there are other lists. If you want to, you can go on Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 big board and look at some of the other players. We're gonna stop here for the night because we pushing 2 hours and we normally go about 1:20. But moving forward, we're gonna be covering draft stuff from here on out, all the way up to the draft, where we'll actually be doing a live draft watch party. So you can be watching the draft on your TV and listening to us as the
best people to listen to on draft night.
Oh,
yeah. Don't listen to Helmet Hair. None of them other people. You know, I'm talking about.
We the best people to listen to on draft night. Okay.
But y'all, Steve, you and Brandon had a Todd McShay, Mel Kiper moment. I was cracking up just earlier because it was like Steve was saying something, and Brandon was like, Steve.
That's oh
yeah, Todd. Yeah. No, you say Todd.
But we've been doing this for 32 years.
Man, we have, man. God,
32 years, man. This is what we do. That's all love, man. Steve, 32 years. We've been doing this for 32 years, man.
Hey, Steve, man, we old heads, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but yes, make sure you tune in to our other pre-draft shows and other moves. We can always cover those other moves as they pop up, just like we talked about the quarterbacks earlier today in this show. We again will be doing a live draft party show, watch party show on the 24th, the first round. We will cover the entire first round, and then we're going to come back on that following Monday to recap the other picks in that draft. And then that's when it's really going to get juicy after that, because that's when we start having our viewer's choice. Our viewers' choice shows where you basically put in topics. You can either you can put them on our Facebook page. Hey, can y'all talk about this? Or you can actually come on when we're live and put in a suggestion. We can discuss that. So it's basically it's gonna be an improv show. You're gonna be throwing stuff at us. We're gonna be fielding questions and stuff. And then after that, that's when we start our division by division breakdown of all of the teams in NFL. We'll be making our division predictions, and that's where you really get to be part of the show. If you like to represent your team when we cover your division, make sure that you make contact with us on our Facebook page or any of our social media mediums and say, hey, I'm a fan of Team X. I'd like to come and represent for my team when y'all cover my division. And we'll talk to you and we'll vet you and make sure that you're not saying nothing crazy. And if we like you, you'll be on the show. Some of the spots are already filling up. We've already been talking to some people, and we have some spots already filled up, but you don't know who they are. So if you'd like to come on and be a guest on the show, that means you're going to be on the screen. You're going to have your own little square on here, and we're going to let you do your thing, and you'll be talking about your team with people who are fans of teams in your same division. And we're going to be doing that for 8 straight weeks. leading up into the preseason. So let us know if you'd like to be a guest. Brandon, take us out.
All right. So I know it's not NFL, but I just want to say congratulations to University of Florida, the Gators. They won the national championship in March Madness NCAA college basketball tournament. So congratulations to them. They just won. But also, and I know Tristan's going to hear this because he always watches the show when he misses it. We need to talk to Tristan about when he wants to do this quarterback malpractice show, because we need to start getting that together.
I'm gonna just sit back there, show and be like,
I'm
not gonna hardly say anything. I'm gonna just
I'm thinking about mid-May, but I need to talk to him and see how he wants to do it. But we need to talk quarterback malpractice. Okay. Anyway. We are live currently on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Okay. You can follow us on IG, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Okay. Coach Williams, NFL Encyclopedia, Build Through the Trenches, Panel 316, Run and Shoot Offense City, The Good Guy with the Black Hat,
Good to be home.
Steve Space Age. Welcome back, my brother. Make sure you're on next week, man, so that way we can cover these hidden gems.
I'll be on.
We got hidden gems to cover, okay? So good night, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Peace out.